This is C.J. Chivers of the New York Times, reporting from Marja, Afghanistan. The recent offensive in this Taliban stronghold meant tough fighting for the Marines of Kilo Company, 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines. The mission brought lessons in the ambiguities of guerrilla warfare. After being repeatedly ambushed from the same set of buildings on the far side of a canal, the company set out before dawn to clear several compounds from which the Taliban had been firing. 3 members of the company had been shot here the day before. One of them died. When 3rd Platoon's 3rd Squad entered this house, they were attacked by a dog, which they killed. Inside, they found seed and fertilizer piled high, typical for a farmer's house. Often in counterinsurgency, it can be hard to tell what is what. This was an example.
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer is part of local life. But it can also be a main ingredient in IEDs, or improvised explosive devices, which the Taliban has left in buildings or on roads and at canal crossings. When the Marines find IEDs or unexploded ordnance, like here, they detonate them. Back at the compound, the only man there would not talk.
Tried Dari?
I don't think he's personal.
The Marines wondered, was he a member of a bomb-making cell, trained to go mute, or maybe he was simply disabled? The Marines could not tell. Even with the help of an interpreter and an Afghan soldier, no one was sure who he was. Searches turned up more suspicious items. The man wouldn't claim ownership of a cell phone or a handful of SIM cards or electrical cords. Again, these are common items, but they can also be assembled into a bomb. Remote control devices and a doorbell kit raised further questions. None of the dozens of homes the Marines had searched had electricity. For that matter, none even had doorbells. The Afghan first sergeant was convinced this was a bomb maker's home.
Let him know we have enough things here. ID make material. It's very simple. All he's got to do is tell us what he's doing here.
Still, the man would not talk. Was he a bomb maker or in the wrong place at the wrong time? The Marines detained him to transfer to an intelligence team later. By this time, he had soiled himself. No one was sure what this meant. It could have been fear. But the Marines had also been briefed that insurgents hoped that feigning illness or fear might get detainees medical attention and slow down a patrol or an interrogation. The Marines began to lead him back to their outposts. The detainee would not cooperate. He dragged his feet. Then he collapsed. The Afghan first sergeant briefly carried him. A bit of water got his attention, but still he would not walk or talk. In an already murky fight, it was difficult to say how much of a threat this man was. Bringing him back to the outpost put the Marines at risk from gunfire in the open fields, and also at risk of further alienating villagers already distrustful of outsiders. The encounter with the suspected bomb maker showed that while the means of fighting were often clear, little else was. In the days ahead, the Marines continued their push, sweeping further into territory that had been solely under Taliban control.